estuvimos en Yuma, durmiendo en Yuma, Arizona. Empezamos la marcha, como siempre, en el Panteón de Oakland. 700 personas enterradas, no identificadas, pero tampoco olvidadas. De aquí vamos a ir a Long Beach, a la Universidad Estatal, a dar un discurso, y luego nos arrancamos a Florida. La gran mayoría de las personas que están participando en la marcha migrante ya están en camino a Florida. Llegamos el viernes a mediodía. El viernes a mediodía tenemos una misa en Florida, en Miami, y empezamos a subir la costa del este para cruzar varios estados, llegar a Washington del 10 al 12 de febrero, llegar a Washington del 17 al 19, 2 veces. También vamos a hacer una serie de vigilias muy importantes. El febrero 14 es el Día de la Amistad, el Día del Amor. Entonces, febrero 14 vamos a estar en Shenandoah, Pennsylvania. En Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, lo que vamos a hacer es hacer una vigilia por Luis Ramírez, un joven mexicano matado en julio del año pasado. Hay que enseñarle a este país que nosotros queremos a los migrantes y queremos a este país. Estamos pidiendo a todo el pueblo que hagan acciones de amor ese fin de semana, no nomás el 14. El 15 estaremos en Long Island, Nueva York, donde mataron a Marcelo Lucero. Y vamos a estar en Long Island, Nueva York, haciendo lo mismo. Una vigilia para acordarles a nuestros hermanos y hermanas que todos somos de la misma raza, la raza humana. A él lo mataron porque pensaba que era mexicano. Él era de Ecuador, pero siendo de Ecuador o de México o de Irak, donde sea, es un ser humano. Y hay que tratar a las personas con dignidad y respeto. Por eso es tan importante para nosotros esta marcha Migrante 4. Entonces, el espíritu de esta marcha es que cumpla Barack Obama y su administración con las promesas que nos ha hecho sobre una reforma justa e integral, parar las redadas ya y parar la construcción del muro que ha matado más de 10,000 personas. In December of 2005, when House Resolution 4437 was passed in the Republican-controlled Congress, was we had to rush to the Senate and say, don't pass it in the Senate. Because if it passes in the House and it goes to the Senate passes it, the President signs it or vetoes it. So what happened was, we decided to do Marcha Migrante. And Marcha Migrante was spearheaded by Border Angels and Gente Unida. Gente Unida was a group that we formed in May of 2005, the month after the Minutemen showed up in Arizona. We were there to peacefully confront them, but we had to take more action when they came to San Diego. No violence, but we formed a group called Gente Unida, United People, so we could expose the Minutemen for the hate racist groups that they are. And we were able to chase them away from the deserts of California. Every once in a while, you still see them pop up in various areas. There's people here that have been very helpful in seeing to it that that very small group of hate called Minutemen is even smaller today. So Gente Unida and Border Angels say, let's go across the country and tell the country about the stories of the border, the deaths on the border, the Minutemen. Let's get people to take to the streets and rise up and say no to 4437. So on February 2nd, which is a very important date, it's a historical and a religious date. Historical because after the United States invaded Mexico and stole half its territory in 1846, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed on February 2nd of 1848. But it's a religious date. Christ is presented to the temples 40 days after his birth, the Dia de la Candelaria. That's what February 2nd is all about. So we head across the country in February of 2006. 40 cities in 27 days in 20 different states. Let's take to the streets and march against this inhumane HR 4437. Let's rise up for immigration reform. 3.5 million people rose up. You rose up right here. In March and April of 2006, we had the biggest marches in the history of the United States. We know it wasn't just because of Marcha Migrante. It was for many reasons, and we're going to continue to take action. The professor was talking about that we've got to continue to take action. She's absolutely right. We have got to continue to take action. And the person that's going to make that change, sure, I voted for Barack Obama. I logged 50,000 miles, getting people to vote for him and so forth during this campaign. But the person that's going to make the change is the person that you look at in the mirror every morning. Each one of us has to take action and rise up. February 2nd of 2007, we went from San Diego to Brownsville to gather the stories on why we need the immigration reform. Marco Antonio's story, Lucrecia's story, Guadalupe Beltran's story. February 2nd of 2008, last year, we went from San Diego to the Canadian border. the 6 bordermost states, su voto es su voz, to get people to vote. That's what Marcha Migrante did. And we've gotten people to rise up and march. We've gotten people to vote. So where are we today? Today we have, who I consider a person that fills us with inspiration, Barack Obama. I think he's wonderful. I had a chance to meet with him privately before he was president. I worked with the transition team. We're going to be heading over there. We're going to be in Washington, D.C. on February 10th. But we can't just assume that because he was elected and he told us he was going to do these things, that he'll do it. We've got to hold his feet to the fire. So he told us during his campaign about immigration debate, specifically, that the inhumane raids that are taking place are terrorizing our community.